Hello, hello. So day number 2 of our nutrition workshop. So I'm pretty excited about today, and you're probably not going to expect the topic for today, but it is really honestly a very important foundation that we need to look at before we go into anything. And it may be an approach that you have not seen brought up in other fitness forums or with other coaches. If you've worked with me, you have definitely heard this part. Definitely heard this part. It's a very important aspect when it comes to nutrition. So, I want to dive in to the fact that it doesn't always matter what we eat, but it matters more about how we eat. All right. So, not what we eat, how we eat. Now, why is this important? Why is how we eat so important? Right? So, what happens is that digestive stress is about 25% due to the types of foods we eat, and 75% is due to who we're being when we eat. All right? So, who we're being when we're healing our bodies, when we're eating things. Are you moving at warp speed all of the time? Are you constantly eating on the go? Are you multitasking at meals? Are you engaging in gossip? These are all things that feed our stress response. Okay, so just think about that real quick. Do you often gossip? Do you often eat on the go? Are you often really, really busy and feeling stressed and busy? All right. This has everything to do with nutrition. Okay. And we're going to talk about why. So, eating under stress is just common space for us. And it's also just sort of, it's socially acceptable. And we kind of made it as a prerequisite to get through life nowadays. Like we're all managing jobs, a family, having a life. We all have so much on the go, right? So having stress in our lives and eating on the go or eating when we're stressed has just become a part of our lives, unfortunately. So just think of when you feel most stressed, right? And I think most of you will probably say that it's in the moments where you're on the go so much, where you have so much time to, or you don't have any time to do anything. You're just moving so fast, right? So you're not taking the time to eat, you're not taking the time to relax, you're not taking the time to just go and enjoy life. You're just go, 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 go. Would you agree that that tends to be the times in your life where you're the most stressed, when you're just moving too fast? So let's talk about this for a second. If you have ever worked on strengthening your metabolism, or if you were sick and you were trying to get better, if you were trying to lose weight, fix your digestion problems, and it just didn't happen for you. Okay, so if any of those apply to you and it just didn't happen, you just tried and tried and tried and things could not fix themselves, it was probably because you were moving too fast in life. Okay, so what happens is when you're moving too fast in life, you inevitably eat too fast, and that destroys your metabolism. And it's going to create upset stomachs, digestion problems. You're going to have a lot of issues, and we don't realize how much of these issues related to nutrition are actually related to stress. So it results in meals that are eaten under a psychological stress. And what that actually does is when you're under stress, it diminishes your capability of burning calories. So it goes without saying then that the slower you eat, the faster you metabolize your food. Okay? The slower you eat, the faster you are going to break down, absorb, metabolize that food that you're bringing in. So the more relaxed you are throughout the day, the more energy you're going to have, right? Because you're going to be breaking down your food, your body's going to be getting the energy, you're just going to have more energy. So that 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock slump that's happening, it's because you're spinning through life. It's just go, go, go. And by that time, your body's like, wait a minute, I need to rest, I need to recuperate. And you start to get sleepy, you start to get that foggy brain, and you just feel like, I can't do anymore, like I just want to go home. Ugh. All right, so we end up turning to something that we think is going to provide us pleasure, something that we think is going to give us some extra energy throughout the rest of the day. Does that sound like something that you have done? So maybe some of you, it's more on a regular basis. Maybe some of you can think back to a time where you're just like, oh, I'm so drained. I need something. And you just grab the granola bar covered in chocolate, or you grab the bag of chips, or you just grab something out of the fridge. Healthy or not healthy, we're looking for a pick-me-up. We're looking for something to boost our energy because we're feeling like we don't have it. We've all done it. We've all turned to food and said, this is going to be the little pick-me-up. All right. So the thing with this is that you could be eating the healthiest meal on the planet. You could grab those strawberries from the fridge and snack on that and be like, it's all good. I'm eating strawberries. But in reality, it's not so good because your body's stressed. All right. And when you're eating stressed out, if you're eating in an anxious state, your digestion is dramatically diminished. Sorry. So I'm going into some more technical stuff with you here, and this is something that my one-on-one clients, I really take a whole hour and more to go over this. So I'm giving you sort of like these little bits of information that I want you to take in and I want you to chew and try to absorb some of it. But they're really, really crucial to your nutrition. So I just want to sort of give you a highlight of these things today so you start to understand what might be blocking you and where the issue might be lying when it comes to your nutrition and your overall health. All right, so let's break down a little bit of the science behind what I just said. All right, between digestion and metabolizing and stress, what does all this mean scientifically? So what is actually going on when you're stressed out is that your saliva enzymes in your mouth are reduced. So in your saliva, in your spit, there are enzymes that help break down your food. But when you're stressed, your body doesn't produce as much. So right there, that's number one. You don't have as many enzymes in your saliva and often less saliva to help break down your food right from your mouth. Okay, so the problem is starting as soon as you put it in your mouth. Then when it goes through your body, your stomach is actually impaired because it's in stress mode. And we're going to get into this a little bit. But then your stomach is having a hard time breaking down proteins and fats and carbs. And then you also have your intestine that the blood is not flowing to it. And it's not just a little bit. It can actually, when you're under stress in your day, you can actually stop your metabolism, your stomach, the blood flowing to all of your organs that are helping to break things down by 4 times. Okay, so it could be broken down 4-fold, which is a lot, right? Like that's a lot of impairment on your digestive things that are going to hold you back from meeting your goals, right? So what this translates to, the fact that your body is not having as many enzymes to break things down, the fact that your stomach is now impaired and not breaking things down properly because the blood's not flowing properly to your stomach because you're stressed. What does this mean? It means that your body is not assimilating. It is not taking in and using the vitamins, the minerals, and the nutrients. So you could literally be eating the most healthy thing on the world. You might think, oh, I have this really good salad with clean protein, and I have the amino acids, and I have this, and I have that. It could be the absolute best thing. But because your body is stressed just from your day-to-day living, you might not actually be benefiting from that awesome food as much as you think, right? So you're eating it, but your body is just like eating it and it's going out the other end, right? You're not actually breaking it down, getting the minerals, getting the vitamins, and nourishing your body. Your body is only going to get a portion of that because you're stressed. This is a lot to take in, right? And I'd be curious to see how many of you this is the first time hearing this, right? Because I know when I first heard this, I was like, whoa, what? I thought I was eating well, I was working out, I was doing everything I needed to do, And this was sort of a slap in my face of like, whoa, okay. So there's a lot that I'm not aware of that's going on in my body that was holding me back. And this is one of them. So have you ever had that feeling of eating? You ate a whole meal and you just didn't feel satisfied. You just didn't feel, you felt like you still wanted to keep eating. And that has to do with what I just talked about with your digestion, right? You ate a full meal, you might feel full because there's a ton of food in your belly, but your body didn't actually pull the nutrients, so your body is not satisfied, right? Our body craves things sometimes because we need salt or we need sugar or we need a vitamin, so our body's going to crave those things. And if we didn't get it during our meal, even though you're super full and your stomach is bulging out and you're like, oh my God, I need to unbutton my pants, but you still want to eat, it's because your body's saying you didn't get the nutrients that you needed. All right, so there's two things when it comes to your nervous system that connects to all of this. You have your parasympathetic and you have your sympathetic nervous system. All right, and what all of this has to do with your digestion is that your parasympathetic is known as the rest or the digestive response. Okay, so when your body is in the parasympathetic nervous system, when that's what you're running on, when you're running on a lower stress pace, that's the optimal state of digestion because your body can focus on what it needs to focus on. Your body's producing things. Your body has enough energy to do what it needs to do. All right, so keep parasympathetic in your mind. That's where we want to be. Now, the sympathetic is also known as the fight or flight, and we've all heard of this before, right? It's your stress response. So when you're stressed out, your digestion shuts down, and it's the classic example, I'm sure you've all heard this example before, of the lion chasing you, right? So the lion that's chasing you, your body is no longer going to focus on digesting that meal. Your body is going to focus on getting the heck out of there because there's a lion. So your body is going to focus its blood and its energy towards your limbs that need to move, right? It's going to tell your digestive system, stop working. We need all men on board. Get those legs moving, get those arms pumping, and get the heck out of here. All right? So we don't face lions every day. That's not our reality. Our system, with our ancestors, that was their reality. And our system is made up a lot the same. You know, things have changed over time, but we still have that parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. So that sympathetic, that fight or flight, is still with us. Now, we're not running away from lions, but we're stuck in traffic. We have a boss that yells at us. We have a rocky relationship. We have kids to tend to. We have work issues. You know, there's things going on all around us. And it's become normal to us, but like it or not, those things put stress on our bodies, right? So if we go about our day and we're dealing with the kids, like I'm in my class right now, I'm dealing with the students, and then I'm dealing with a grumpy coworker, and then I'm dealing with a principal who's not happy about something, and then I get a letter from a parent. They're all kind of things that we get used to and we brush off. We're like, yeah, okay. But when I sit down to eat my meal, my body is still in a stressed state. Okay? You might not realize all of the time that you're stressed. We often realize we're stressed when we're like abut, when we can't take it anymore, we're stressed out, right? But I want you to realize that this go, 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 go lifestyle that we live of eating fast because we have to tend to a client, or getting stressed out and just like wanting to sit down and eat quietly in our room, these are all equivalent to that lion running after us. Our body is under a state of stress. Okay? And sometimes there's not much we can do about that. But there are some little tricks that I'm going to go into for a second that are going to help you diminish that stress before you start eating. Okay? So I just wanted you to be aware of the fact that We are super stressed out as human beings, and we need to find a way to fix that because it is affecting our nutrition, our nutrients that's coming into our body, and our overall health. So it's a very brilliant mechanism because we want to know that our body is going to run away from the lion if ever we need it, right? Or pick up the car off of a kid if we need that adrenaline. Our body is made perfectly. With that said, we have to learn how to adapt in today's society for that. I'm sure that you have all heard about the lovely hormone called cortisol, right? So cortisol is that hormone that is released when we are stressed out. And studies have shown that increased cortisol in your system actually leads to fat accumulation. So there is a direct correlation. The more stressed you are, the more fat you're going to hold on to. Why? Because your body's not burning fat, because it's focusing on your sympathetic nervous system that it's tending to, right? So there's all of these little factors that are coming in. So people tend to primarily keep that weight in the abdomen, and that that cortisol level for a lot of us sort of just stays there, right? And we need to bring it down. That's up to us, right? We need to be aware of these things and we need to bring it down. So what do we do about this? All right, I'm trying to keep this as short as possible so that you guys aren't overwhelmed. Like I said, I normally take a good hour plus to go over these things and really go into detail and discuss it. But I want you to get these little bite-sized chunks of information and some action steps every day. And then I'm going to leave you to it. And then we can come back to these things during our live Q&A if you would like to. All right, but at least you're going to understand what we need to get under control. It's not just the planning. It's not just better eating. The number one thing, and this is why we're starting with it, is your stress. We're going to have to work on that all week, ladies. So I am going to be posting in the comments below in my Facebook page this little visual. I have it in front of me. I set little visuals every single day. I'm going to put a visual in the comments that you'll be able to print or hold on to that just basically outlines the 4 or 5 takeaways from the video. So today, talking about how to eat, there's 4 little tricks that you can start giving a try. All right. It's a fact that we're going through our day stressed out, and it's a fact that we need to do something to fix that. So there are 4 things that we can do to decrease those stress levels to help assimilate the nutrients and for our digestive system to kick back into what it should be. Number 1, what you should start practicing is every time you sit down to eat, you're just going to stop. You're going to breathe. You're going to check in with yourself, and nobody needs to know that you're doing it, even if you work in a busy place and you're at the staff room. Set your lunch in front of you and just take 2 minutes to quietly breathe. Check in with yourself and just say, what's going on? Oh, that's bothering me. Okay, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it go for lunchtime. I'll get back to it later. I'm just going to relax. Okay, and if you're able to take about 2 minutes before your meal to bring your heart rate down, to clear your mind a little bit, and to just breathe, you are going to diminish your stress level a lot, and therefore you are going to increase your body's ability to break down, digest, and assimilate your nutrients. Okay, so number 1 thing that you can do to fight stress and the effects it has on your nutrition and your health is going to be to relax. And right before a meal is the perfect time to do that. Now, that's not the only time you want to, right? In general, we need to find ways to de-stress more. Now, that looks like getting enough sleep. You want to make sure that you're going to sleep and you're getting enough sleep. You want to make sure that you are taking time for yourself and not getting to the point where you feel like, oh my God, I'm stressed out, right? We're going to get to that in a couple of days. We're going to talk about having to put ourselves first so we can diminish the stress further. But number one thing that I know you guys can all do is get to bed a little bit early. Okay, or maybe it's going to look like getting a nap during the day. I sometimes sit here and I put my head down on the desk and I just take a little nap. You need to make sure you're getting enough sleep because that has a big impact on your stress levels and therefore on your digestion, your weight, your health. All right. The next thing that you can do, and remember, I'm putting this visual in the comments, so you're going to have these points to remember. The next exercise, and I am challenging you today, if you are watching this, which hopefully you all will, I am going to put you to the challenge today to test yourself chewing. All right, the average person, just guess, I'm going to stay silent for a second. How many chews do you think the average person chews before swallowing their food? Any guesses? The average person chews 3 to 4 times before they swallow their food. It's not good because we need those enzymes in our saliva to help break down the food. We need to be chewing slower. So if you are able to relax and breathe, bring down your stress before you eat, chew slower to help your body break down the food, you're already like way ahead of the game. Way ahead of the game. Okay? And it's going to help you accomplish your goals faster. The other thing is water. Okay, and we're going to have a day where we're just going to talk about water, but make sure you're drinking water. Make sure that your body has enough fluid that it's going to be able to break stuff down. Water is actually going to help cool your body down, and it could be a great stress relief. Instead of grabbing for that chocolate bar, grab for your bottle of water. All right, so your 4 tips for today in terms of how to eat is to reduce your stress level before you eat. Take time to breathe, a good 2 minutes to de-stress every time. Chew slowly, drink more water, and get more sleep. That's it. So I really can't wait to hear what you think about this first little lesson in the workshop. I will be posting the 4 main with a little visual in the comments below for you to have. And I will also be sending you some documents. So I have a how to chew guide, and I have the proper way to drink water. I have some little handouts that I would like to provide you with. So I'm actually going to need your email. So if you could send me a message with your email, that would be great. And I'm going to send you these extra things in your email so that you have them for when we talk about them this week. Already we talked about water. You'll be able to read the document so that when we get to that part of the workshop, then you're going to know what I'm talking about. So that's it. I really hope that you enjoyed the first session, and I can't wait to hear more about what you think in the comments. Talk to you soon. Have a good day.